I'm on the phone to Waltham Forest Council. If you see my previous video, I recorded a video and I've got 2 reference numbers, just telephoning up the council, Waltham Forest Council, and I've been told that my jobs have been completed, but they haven't. Yes, I've been waiting on the phone for 10 minutes now while the operative at Waltham Forest Council is speaking to her manager. I've been on the phone for 31 minutes. I've been on hold to Waltham.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, sorry to keep you on hold. I was just talking to my manager and he was having a look at the case. So what he's asked me to do is give him the details and he's going to speak to the team that deals with this to find out what has happened, why it has closed without being done.
Yeah.
Okay? So I was in the process of giving him your details and the REQ numbers because he's going to talk to that department himself. Okay?
Right.
So
is that both of them? Both of the reference numbers?
I've given both of them, yeah, because I can see another one ending in 3118. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I've put them both together and I've given him both. We've had a look at everything. We've had a look at the photo. Okay?
Yeah.
And he's going to speak to them because we're in the call centre, there's only so much we can see on accounts. We can't see the whole story because we're not part of the back office team who deals with this. So therefore he needs to get more information and find out from them what exactly has happened to this, why it's not been done.
Well, I mean, I can tell you what's been...
You will get a call.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, sorry, a call from who?
You won't get a call. No, it'll either be from me, my manager, or the back office team. Somebody will call you to let you know what's happened and why it's been closed.
Yeah, I mean, because I've got my idea of why it's been closed. You know, what I reckon, because I've done it online, you see, and every time you...
I was just going to get on to that.
Yeah. Sorry, what's that?
I was just going to get on to that, Mr. Jessup, because we've gone all the way back to the 8th of February and we can see that it was done initially by yourself. But the first one was done about 20 to 10 in the evening.
Yeah.
And then where you're seeing all those other things generated without names, my manager said that's the system generating it to the next stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's no name on there because it's automatically.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know, but the thing is, right, but what's happened is I've got my idea of what's happened. Is that somebody in the office has looked at that and looked at the pictures and thought, well, I'm not going to action that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create the job and then close the job at the same time. And that's why I'm getting, like, the emails, and it says in the email that I've got that the job has been created, allow 10 days for it to be actioned. You know, not thinking that I'm going to telephone up again and that it's going to go into an investigation stage, because you even said yourself that when I asked you who your colleague is who actually closed the job or actioned the job or even created the job, you said that it said no ID. And now you've never seen that before, have you?
Sorry, can you say no? What I'm saying is I've never seen it before where it says that whoever created the job, there's no name.
Yeah, and that was done on purpose, you see, because it's obvious that whoever it is, you know, your colleague is, you know, they've looked at the pictures and, you know, you can see what it says in the picture. It's got a Palestinian flag, and then on another thing, got Free Palestine. So my idea is that whoever's actually actioning that job is most probably a Muslim, and then probably go to these protests, the Free Palestine protests, and they've looked at it and thought, well, wait a minute, I'm not going to kind of action this because I agree with Free Palestine. That's probably what they've done. So I bet you, and you can pass this on to your manager, and I'll tell him myself if you want, that the person that must probably actioned it and closed it, it must probably be a Muslim, so you can narrow that down.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And I'm quite happy to meet your manager and tell them face to face, what I think has gone on, and you can say to them, because of the nature of the graffiti on the wall and a massive Palestinian flag, that's like 5 foot high and 7 foot long. Right, now, if that had been a Union Jack, that would have been cleaned up within maybe 24 hours. Somebody probably would have come out about 1 o'clock in the morning or something to paint over it. But because it's a Palestinian flag, whoever in your office, who has actioned this job, is most probably a Free Palestine supporter. And, from a white British person point of view and a Christian point of view, because obviously the UK is a Christian country, the Free Palestine graffiti is actually racist. And that's why I raised the job. Because loads of residents said to me, have you seen that? Have you seen that? Have you seen that? And I went and had a look at it myself, and I thought, well, why hasn't it been cleaned up? It's already been there for 2 weeks, and now it's been there for another 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and the council haven't painted over it or removed it. It's disgusting. Wouldn't you agree, yes?
Well, we're not allowed to comment when we work in the council, unfortunately, so I won't be able to comment on this one.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
Right, so where we are at the moment...
We've got to remain impartial, you see.
Yeah. Well, one of your colleagues hasn't, because they've created the job and closed it at the same time. And this is why we've got to this situation.
Okay. Do you find it offensive, then?
It's what?
Do you find the flag offensive?
Well, a Palestinian flag in the UK, yes. Right, because that's supporting terrorism. You realise that, don't you? If that was
I can't comment.
Yeah, but if that was a Union Jack, right, people would have complained about it, and then the council would have actioned it. They would have painted over it. Or if somebody had raised an English flag in the United Kingdom, people would have complained about that, and then somebody would have come out to remove it. So it should be the same rules for a Palestinian flag.
Right, okay. I've put lots of things down on this, and I'm passing it over to my manager.
Yeah. I'm quite happy to have a meeting with your manager. I'm quite happy to do that, because I can't leave it like this. This has now become a matter of principle. I can't accept this. This is disgusting that, the Waltham Forest Council are promoting, to report things online. I've done that. I've followed policies and procedures, rules and regulations, and terms and conditions. Right, I've followed all of that, and the Waltham Forest Council have failed on this occasion, because they haven't carried out the complaints procedure. I've followed the correct procedure and done it online, and because it hasn't been actioned, I've been forced to telephone up. The system has been put in place at Waltham Forest Council isn't working, and this conversation is the evidence that it isn't working.
Right, okay. Have you actually put in an official complaint online as well?
Right, because, what I want, is I want to meet your manager, and I want to, I want it actioned, and I do want to meet your manager and say, in person, not over the telephone, and say, look, these things can't actually go on, because you've got a policy and procedure of reporting things online, and people are doing that. I'm just one person. How many other times has this happened? Where people are reporting things online, as the Waltham Forest Council have advised to do, and you haven't followed your own policies and procedures, rules and regulations, and terms and conditions. I mean, that's a breach of contract.
You're very welcome to put all of this in a stage 1 complaint online as well. But in the meantime, while we were talking, I have passed your information to my manager, who now has the information and will raise it with that department to find out what has happened in this actual case.
Yeah, I mean, because I can't leave it like this. Yeah.
No, I've said that you want. Yeah, don't worry. I've said that you want to speak to a manager and you want it actioned. So, like I said before, in the call centre we're very limited as to what we can see. So we can't see the whole story of who's opened it and who's closed it and why they've closed it without doing it. So that he needs to get to the bottom of it. Therefore, he needs to speak to that department. Okay. So you will be receiving a call, but I'm not sure who it will be that will be calling you regarding this, okay?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would like...
I'm not a manager.
Yeah.
I'm not a manager, but I've said a manager to call you.
Because it was there for 2 weeks before residents said to me about going there, like, and looking at it. And when I saw it, I thought, well, why hasn't it been painted over? Because, as a matter of principle, if that had been an English flag or a Union Jack, there would have been loads of complaints, and one probably would have come out at 1 o'clock in the morning to paint over it. I find it offensive that Palestinian flag is like there, and it hasn't been actioned by Waltham Forest Council. I mean, thousands of people must have gone past it every single day. And maybe it has actually been reported by other people. And the same thing has happened to them. Because I can't believe that a Palestinian flag in a Christian country that supports, the Palestinians supporting Hamas, which is a terrorist organisation. I would imagine other people have reported this, and again, nothing has happened. So whoever is in charge of creating these jobs and then closing them is the person responsible for not actioning that job, and they should be sacked. Because in corruption, I mean, that is like kind of government corruption.
Yeah, well, what you can do is when somebody calls you back, hopefully it will be a manager, and you can say, you can talk to them as well when they give you a call back, okay?
Okay, I mean, do I get a reference number?
I can do.
Yeah, I mean, do I get a reference number regarding the telephone call?
No, but it is recorded.
Yeah, I mean...
The call is recorded, and let me just see when... We've been on the call for 42 minutes.
Oh, no,
so it must have rang about maybe about 3:10, something like that, if you want to make a note of it. But we can get the call by your phone number. We can trace the call if it needs to be traced.
Yeah, I mean...
It is recorded.
Yeah, I mean, for me, personally, so, I mean, this telephone call, this is being recorded, yes?
It is being recorded,
Great.
Yes.
Brilliant. Right, now, I've been on the phone to you, or maybe not to you, but from the beginning of my call, for 52 minutes. And I was on hold. I know that you were talking to your manager and you're taking a lot of kind of time out, and then I was on hold for 12 minutes.
I do apologise.
But I'm only saying that for the benefit of the recording. And I'm hoping that a manager of some kind is going to contact me, tell me where the communication broke down, why policies and procedures weren't followed when this is what Waltham Forest Council is promoting, and why my job was opened and closed in a matter of minutes. And chances are the person that opened and closed it was a Muslim. So make sure you play that to your manager, just to narrow it down, because it's evident that that's what has happened.
Yeah. Well, I've passed information over to him. He's got the information now.
Okay, so what is your manager's name then, please?
My manager's name is Reese.
Is that his first name?
That's his first name, yeah.
Reese. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
It to you because there's different ways of spelling Reese.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've written that down anyway. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome. He's got the information now, so we're just letting him speak to that relevant department. And then I have requested the manager to give you a call back.
Right, great. Right, thank you for your help today.
All right. You're very welcome, Mr. Jessup.
Right.
Take care.
Thank you. Right, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I've now ended that call. And let me tell you what's happened, because I've created a previous video regarding residents saying to me about a Palestinian flag that's been painted onto a wall. So the Palestinian flag is 5 foot high and about 7 foot long. I mean, they're quite a big flag. And the thing is, thousands of people must have walked past that every single day. So why is it still there? And chances are other people have reported that and nothing's been done. Okay, so as you heard there, I went out and looked and the graffiti is still there. So that has no place in the UK. So we're going to see what happens. So as you heard the operative from Waltham Forest Council say, she's reported it to her manager, whose name is Reese, and then he's going to speak to the relevant team to find out why my job was created and then completed in a matter of minutes, because then it looks like the job had been opened and then closed within minutes. So obviously that does need to be investigated, because if that's happened to other people as well, then obviously that is corruption within Waltham Forest Council, which is totally unacceptable. And Waltham Forest Council is a Labour council. So, same problems, different council. Okay, thank you. And I'll let you know what the update is.